Good morning. It is 8:59. Almost straight up. Not straight up. Because
Hello, everybody, and welcome into December 29th, 2023. Ken Stout Live with the Zoom Homies. The Zoom Homies with Ken Stout Live. I am your host. I'm still alive. Had a rough day yesterday, as some of you may know. Most of you probably don't know, but my wife's sister-in-law passed away yesterday following a brief illness. Was not a good day. We are not going to be going to San Diego. There will be a 12-hour live stream on Sunday night. Looking forward to that debacle. We have Darren, Ken. Oh, that's me. Wait, we have Darren, Greg, Sin, and Sam already in Zoom. Hello, gentlemen. Anna, and then we have our Lost Wages. First from Lost Wages, and first from Alabama. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Chris.
Who?
Yo.
Who's from Alabama?
Hello.
Greetings from Southern Maryland.
Next door to Alabama, then.
Somewhere in the South. So, thank you, Wintermute. I got on my Grinch top tonight. I had to get it in at least one day during the Christmas season. So, I'm wearing it. I was kind of concerned with the green screen, though. I thought because it's green, it might not work, but it looks pretty good. Maybe because it's a blue background. I don't know. Thank you, Wintermute. Thank you, Ski Man. I hope Ski Man's doing all right. I know today, I believe, was his day where he went to go have some enjoyment. Maybe. Rick Lake says hello. Ran Israel joins us and says hello. I believe, if I can go back far enough, John Aloy Sr. was first. And within about 2 seconds, Josh Kinder Ghetto Fortnite was second. I mean, it literally was less than 5 seconds. And Josh was so happy he thought he was first, but unfortunately he was not by a couple seconds or whatever. Josh asked Tony how his, I got to find this here. How was your Cliff Man, Tony? And I'm pretty sure he meant Christmas, but we all know Joshy speak is different than anybody else in the world. One Fish joins us in chat. Greg says he's in 5th place because he was cutting. You honestly cut your grass on the 29th day of December.
Yes, I did.
I think we need to have an intervention.
No, I just
No, he
didn't.
fertilizes his year-round.
Oh, I know.
I
know.
No, I don't fertilize in the winter, but
No, he just mows in the winter.
But maybe that's why it was growing in the winter.
it was 54 degrees today.
Oh, that's golf weather right there.
Well, once the freeze comes, it's going to kill the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Greg says, bah, humbug. No, it won't.
He might be cutting leaves.
Yeah, I walked up to the mailbox today to pay our HOA dues, and I went in my T-shirt, my short pants, and tennis shoes with no socks. And going up, it wasn't too bad, but by the time I walked up there and walked back, it's about a block and a half maybe. I was a little bit chilled. I wasn't cold, but I was a little bit chilled. And of course, today was pins and needles again because we didn't know what was going on. There is not going to be any showing in San Diego. In fact, it's our understanding they've already cremated the body and it will be sent back to the Philippines. I want to thank everyone for your prayers and thoughts. I appreciated it.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize her sister was in San Diego.
Her entire family, except for practically her son, lives in San Diego.
Okay, I thought maybe the sister was still in the Philippines. I didn't remember everything.
No. She has one brother still in the Philippines, and then, of course, her son and granddaughter are still in the Philippines.
Yeah, when did her sister pass, you said?
Yesterday morning.
And already cremated?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Lorna
quick.
suspects it's because she had COVID and a couple other things. Honestly, I don't think that's what it is, but I could be wrong.
Well, don't mean to sound more, but I was just curious because when my wife passed, it took 3 weeks for her to make the queue in the cremation
Wow.
facility
Wow.
2 years ago.
Well, we could be misinformed. I don't know. I'm just going off what she tells
Well,
me.
here
She's
they
going
were
on.
the backup was still that far here in Las Vegas in April of 2022.
Right.
So,
It was last year. Yeah.
so
We were prepared. We had bags packed. We had already laid out our plan and knew exactly how we were going to do it. And like this is a big shock to anyone. They called twice today. Once was the scheduler, and once was the DON or the director of nursing, asking Mrs. K, could she work tonight? And she told them both very politely, no, I cannot. Didn't stop him from calling, though. Long Dog says, hello, everyone, and Ken. Hello, Long Dog. And we have Ghetto joining us. Tracy Michael.
Ghetto.
Thank you, Tracy Michael. I appreciate that. Good to see you in the chat.
Do they know that she lost a family member?
Who would be they, Chris? The
Her
people
work. Her work.
I don't know if she shared that with them or not. I think she was going to, if we were going to have to go to Cincinnati, to San Diego. I believe maybe 2 of the co-workers might, only because they're Filipino. But other than that, the other people don't. It doesn't matter. They're so short-handed that, knock on wood, I could probably keel over and they'd probably still make her work. They'd probably come and get her, truth be known. Long Dog says, you should have been watching Mr. Salty tonight. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, Long Dog. I glanced through the links that you send, and that's about it. It's just like I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and when I say I mean we, me, us. We are not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. You guys need to get your screenshot. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
There was people at Kroger that lost family members one time and several times, and some of them wanted to work just to pass time along.
Yeah, I remember when her daughter. When Lorna's daughter passed away, the facility got together and paid for her plane ticket through donations of the employees, and the facility kicked in a big chunk of it as well, which I thought was very, very classy of them to do. Of course, that's been 20-some years ago, and things have changed quite a bit. So I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something, but it'll come back to me, maybe. I figured Alex Cheek might be with us. We talked for about 30 minutes this afternoon.
Yeah, I called my cousin.
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
I have a dumb question here. Has the professor ever worked on Windows script files?
Well, I have no idea.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, yeah.
Ask him. I got a script file I'm trying to get to work, and I don't do this often enough. I can just pull it out of my butt.
Well,
I've got something I think ought to be working, and it won't go. So,
if someone were to tell me you can have $1 million if you can do this script file, it could be the world's easiest script file, and I'm still going to be broke because I I have no idea. And I don't think
Well,
that's
what
something
it
you
is,
can fake.
I've written a bunch of script files like to copy updated things from my documents folder and that sort of thing, but they're very specific. Like this will copy the documents folder files from drive C to drive F, say.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Ran
I'm
is
trying
asking
to
what scripting language from Ran Israel.
simply the command
Command prompt?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I know what
And
that is.
I have done a bunch of this in the past, but it's been a long time. And I'm trying to, what has happened is I've got like 150 script files now, very specific sort of
Right.
thing to do from this drive to that drive, the documents folder or the music folder or the pictures folder, whatever. And I'm trying to generalize some of this so I can reduce the number of files I have to keep track of. I mean,
Sure.
and it's the generalization. And I'm putting in stuff like if I say I want to copy from this drive to that drive, I go to check to see if those drives exist. And I have some drive letters reserved for certain things, and that's where I'm hung up now. I'm comparing the drive I specify against the drives I've got reserved, and I can't get that part out of work right now. I'll pull it out of my butt eventually, but it take a while. So it's just a matter of playing with it. It's kind of like you do with the DaVinci stuff. I go and look up a command syntax someplace, and then I play with it until the damn thing works. So, well, Lawn Dog, I'm not going to use a backup utility. Oh, yeah, Ren, I am using variables. And I'm not doing a backup utility. I don't want to do an image backup every day. I do that occasionally, and just every day I want to back up any files that may have changed that day, like my mail files that came in that day, or any documents I worked on, or whatnot, you know. It's just, I mean, I just have a particular way I'm accustomed to doing these things, and I'm just trying to get it to work so I don't have to keep track of a separate batch file for every drive letter I want to use. I wrote them quick and dirty, very specific.
Jeff, just say you're old and set in your ways. We understand. We're all old and set in our ways. We get it.
That's true. And this is kind of an exercise to see if I can do some of this. Yeah, to Ran, yeah, it's batch files. I have not used the other Windows scripting languages that are available. I know those are there, like PowerShell and all that sort of thing. I just have not taken the time to learn those. I've got some other things I'm trying to learn right now.
Can we keep it in the English language, please? Let's not get me more confused than I already am.
Well, I confuse myself, so I need company.
I'll gladly be there with you. I have no problem.
Anyway,
that's
what I've been
confused. I'm sure somebody has made a video on how to do that already.
Oh yeah.
On how to confused.
Yep.
Make
So
videos on.
I cleaned my system up
well, Ran,
quite a bit.
I'm using switchblades. I haven't learned how to use the lightsabers yet.
Until you start playing with cloud computing.
Or you go to Destiny's Child 2, and you can learn all you need to learn right there.
So anyway, this is just something I used to do a little bit of way back in the day. You can do all kinds of stuff, even with the command line batch files. I think I've mentioned this fellow that has a channel, Dave's Garage.
Yep, I've heard that name.
One of the things he did, he set up a comparison of how to find the first so many prime numbers using all different kinds of computer languages. And he was running test to see which one was the fastest. And he was using Fortran, C, Basic, C++, all kinds of stuff. And he got going on this, and he set up a thing online where people submitted their code to do this sort of thing. And one guy did it using batch files, just the commands available in a batch file to calculate prime numbers. And how he did it, I have no idea. And that, if you don't know anything about batch files, that's quite an accomplishment. It was slower than hell, but the idea that he even got it to work was amazing to me.
Sure. That's how I
And
feel
so you
about a
can do
lot of
all
my Da
kinds-
Vinci.
So you can do all kinds of crap with script files.
Yeah,
And I am not going to try and do numerical calculations with them. That is beyond what few brain cells I have left at this age. But
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, like the HP, mainly HP, well, the Windows 7 models, I know if you use the recovery disk from the factory, the actual CDs, they actually run a bunch of command. You see a bunch of command prompts
Oh,
and all that.
I know. Yeah, they do a lot of that. And I have a particular way I have organized these backups. I have 3 computers. And like all my document files are identical on all 3. And I use these batch files to keep them that way. So if one computer croaks, I can still get to my stuff.
I'm just seeing if it'll recognize my hand. Apparently it's not. So I got a question for you, Jeff. Do you
Yes,
have
sir.
3 computers at Aunt Mary's as well? Speaking of Aunt Mary, Ghetto, how's she doing?
All right.
She's okay?
Yeah, be fine.
Good to hear. Look like you got your game face on. Are you playing your game again?
Now I was waiting for William to fill up. I was gonna play it with him tonight, but he filled up.
Oh, he will later on. He's probably still live streaming Destiny 2. I forgot to check. I checked to see if you were streaming, but I forgot to see if Bill was streaming. We were actually playing earlier today, and I actually finished quite a bit of the whatever they're called, objectives. They're not, no, what are those called? Bounties. That little voice in my head just helped me out. No, it's not Doug Betts's exclamation mark D either. It's the little voice in my head. Got quite a lot of bounties done anyway. I won't bore you with that. So, been a busy day. I spent all kinds of 3.5 hours on the phone with the bank today. I talked to Alex Cheek twice at the bank and Josh Kinder once at the bank. Little voice in English. Yes, it was English, actually. One of several, Jim. One of several. Josh Kinder got mentioned on Carrie's channel tonight.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Was his name taken in vain, or?
Right
Nah,
after
he
you.
Well,
was
that's
just
just-
going through the list of the people in chat.
Okay,
and
that's a reflection on Carrie, not on Josh. Okay,
Yeah.
just to be clear about that.
That's true. That's true.
That's
When did I get mentioned on his channel? Because I watched it.
About the 11-minute mark is when he mentions your name. I may
okay.
go back and get you a specific timestamp, but I may do it.
hold on. Somebody put that in the Zoom homie saying, y'all.
Yeah, Chris said it was
Look
between
at-
7 and 10 minutes. It was right about, actually, it was about the 11-minute, 13-second mark.
Okay, that's a little bit off.
He was close.
I-
He was
God.
close enough that, because right after he said that, I checked the time and I was already past the 10-minute mark, and then literally next thing he said was, reading the chat, and he said Josh Kinder. So,
Because I had put something in chat way before he followed. Because I can't, because when they start talking to me in that little level, I can't feel what they're saying.
right, and it's good you bring that up, because Tracy put a thing in on our channel, all caps for you, and I understand it was for you, but also I need her to understand that we don't use all caps here. If it's
Right.
something important, we'll tell you, hey, Tracy said this or whatever, Bill or Bob or whoever. We'll let you know. I think the Zoom
Right.
homies take care of you. So
Right.
same thing with Kerry. I really doubt he's going to allow capital letters, and Doug and anyone else for that matter. Where because
Somebody
too
said
early.
Kerry,
And it might be because of that too, Josh. You got to understand. Um, a lot of the time, if you go in too early, there's so many chat messages that come on, especially on Kerry Holzman's channel. It's going to
Right.
disappear. He's never going to see it.
Right.
Occasionally, that happens with Doug's channel. Never going to happen with my channel. Have no fear.
Ken,
Yes, yes, Jeff.
I
Go
was
ahead.
looking in the Zoom homies chat, and you had said it was just a little bit after the 7-minute mark.
No,
When you
did I?
mentioned Josh.
Really? I thought it
Yeah,
was the
you said,
11-minute
I'm
mark.
7
But,
minutes in, and then okay, he just said Josh Kinder.
okay, well,
A
right
little
around
over
that.
7 minutes into Kerry's stream today.
So here you go, Josh. Bring up Kerry, jump to the 7-minute mark, play it to about the 12-minute mark, and you'll be fine. It looks like Sam is doing some programming. Would you like to play a game? I want to hear that in the right voice, Sam. 11-7, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
I think this, I got to remember this is a family channel.
Was
just about
that
I don't-
War Games, right? Would you like to play a game? Matthew Bruck,
Yes.
however you say his name.
I don't use the link for my channel because the proper speak. It will read the link, and God, it will not shut up.
Yeah, because it doesn't read the link. It reads every character in the link. It doesn't read it as a link.
Mhm.
Yep. Greetings, Professor Falcon. Very good. War Games. Good movie. I like that one, and I like the one he did with the chimpanzees, and I can't think of the name of that one either. That was pretty good.
I don't want the link.
Yeah,
I
I didn't know that. I won't put my link in there anymore. I wasn't aware of that, so that's my bad. I'll put myself in the waiting room.
Because Longbow was doing it, and I was like, oh my God, this thing won't shut up.
Yeah, the thing tonight, though, I did not hear the text-to-speech playing. I could hear you, and I finally could hear game sounds, but I never heard text-to-chat or text-to-speech.
I've heard it some,
Okay.
and you didn't see my message to Josh.
Probably
No,
not. I left it about 3 minutes to go to start my stream.
He was driving on a railroad track, and I said, Josh, who taught you to drive? Ken Stout?
Well, it's funny because I was about to make a comment that only Josh Kinder would drive a car on a railroad track, but I didn't. I decided
Well,
to be nice.
I've got one he could handle. I think I mentioned in the Zoom homies today, I saw a driverless minibus
Yeah, I seen that
on
comment.
Sahara Avenue here in Las Vegas yesterday.
Thought I unmuted. Yeah, I seen that, Jeff.
I don't think I would ride in that.
And it was taking people around down in the area of Las Vegas Boulevard and Sahara. Las Vegas Boulevard, in part, is the strip.
Right.
And had
That's a busy
big
area.
windows on it. I mean, you could see clear through it. Had big flashing letters on the back that indicated it was a driverless vehicle. And when it made a turn, it had arrows flashing literally about 6 inches high on the back. So
Well,
you
they
could
want to
tell
be
what it was
seen.
going to do.
Yeah.
It was going relatively slow around corners and stuff like that. So,
Wave of the future. You said Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard?
yeah, I had dropped off my grandchildren where their dad worked up near Washington and Maine, which is a real good area.
Yeah.
And
That's
there'd been
being
an
said
accident
tongue-in-cheek,
on
by the way.
I-15 when I was going back, and so I cut off at Sahara and went over and went on some of the side streets. I was going to the football watch party yesterday afternoon, after I dropped them off. So I was taking a alternate route, not exactly a shortcut. I think I-15 would have actually have been faster, but you had to creep for 5 miles an hour for about 10 minutes of it. And
Yeah.
I just preferred to keep moving.
Speaking of whatever you just said, that reminds me. Congratulations to your K-State football team. They won yesterday.
Yeah,
They got
and
the
did it
big
with a
Pop-Tart
freshman-
award.
Yeah, did it with
They-
a freshman quarterback.
I did not know that.
He actually played very well in some games earlier in the year. The starting quarterback was a fellow named Will Howard, and he went into the transfer portal. He's
Yeah, I see the
getting,
transfer portal changing here in about the next 2 years. I really do.
yeah, well, what happened with him is that he got an extra year to play because of COVID. He's going to be a grad student next year. He has graduated.
Right.
And he's been looking at USC and some other school whose name escapes me at the moment. But the USC quarterback that they have performed very well in their bowl game. And so supposedly now he's not looking at USC, nor are they looking at him any longer.
Yeah, I saw an article, I don't know how true it is or not, that the Florida State football team was basically not going to show up for the bowl game against Georgia because they felt they got snubbed, which they probably did. And then today I read an article that says they feel if they are the remaining unbeaten team in the nation, they should be the number one team in the nation. Well, I hate to tell them, but whoever wins the big bowl, that's who's going to be the number one team in the nation. Ski Man said, no full autonomous vehicle rides for me. I can barely stand my wife driving. I can relate to that.
I
Mrs.
used
K.
to, when my wife was still driving years ago, we would go on a vacation or something, and we would take maybe 8 to 10 hours to get from where we lived to her parents' place. And so I would drive a while, and then she would try to take over and give me a break.
Right.
And she was one of those people who was susceptible to what they call highway hypnosis. And on the interstate, and I'd be sitting over in the front seat trying to doze off, and all of a sudden the right front tire would hit those bumper things on the
Yep.
And after 2 or 3 times that I would say, "Oh, pull over! I'm taking over again."
Oh, I believe me, I know that feel. I occasionally would intentionally run over those, just to wake her up.
Right.
But yeah, she's driven a few times back in the day when we were driving from San Diego back and from Vegas back. It's got to be a straight road though. Cannot be any curves. The road has to be straight.
Well,
and she's fully aware of that.
My wife did better when the road was not straight. It was getting out on the interstate is where she would doze off.
Right, because when it's not straight, she's got to pay attention, right?
Right.
Right.
And driving
got
around town at lower speeds, generally, she was okay. She was not a good driver, partly because of injuries and stuff she'd gotten in a bad accident in high school. And she had to take remedial driver's training and rehab, physical rehab, and all of that sort of thing to get her license back after we got married. She had been driving previously to that, but gave it up about the time we got married because she was having so many issues.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, when we lived here in Vegas or lived in Oak Ridge, she could drive around town at slow speeds where it wasn't out on the highway and whatever, perfectly fine, for the most part. But on vacation, it just in the end, it ended up, I just did the driving and stopped long enough to wake myself up every so often, and that was it. Now, I won't even, and I'm going to drive till I feel tired, and then I'm getting a motel room. No more
Ski Man
long
says,
drives
Ski
for
Man
me.
said, and my wife slams on the brakes totally unnecessarily. I can relate to that too. Now I think if Mrs. K had to drive, she could drive. It would just be very scary.
I'm driving with a driver's ed person.
Oh gosh, no, I couldn't handle that. And I taught
Well,
all of my
You mean
kids
an
how to drive.
instructor or a student, Chris?
Do what now?
You talking about a driver's ed instructor or a driver's ed student?
instructor?
Yeah, I mean, when you're 16 and trying to learn to drive, or no, I would gladly drive with an instructor now. I'd probably scare the holy hell out of him. And
Well, actually,
I'm
I
a
was
relatively
a bit
safe driver too. I
That's
drive the
like
speed
when I
limit.
used-
Do what, Jeff?
When I was awake and I would sit in the right front when my wife was driving, times you hear my foot's hitting the floor. It's what
Out of
I-
habit, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you said that because in tonight's Reacher episode, which we gonna make this a Friday night deal where we have fish and chips and watch Reacher. He's the passenger in a car and he's making these comments about can he drive any slower and doing this, and the guy goes, do you want to drive? And about the time he says yes, he reaches over and grabs the wheel and puts his left foot on the accelerator and off they go. I'm really liking the series. If you get a chance to check it out, it's on Amazon Prime, which for $2.99 starting next month, you can still watch it ad-free.
Yeah, did you see Louis Rossman's rant about that?
I have not yet.
Yes.
Well, he was saying he gets this email from
We're
him.
not.
We're not
I
going to
think
change
I've made
anything.
progress.
But for $2.99 extra, you can eliminate the ads we're going to show now. And you go,
But they're not
"What?"
changing anything. All right, there goes the
But I mean,
scroll.
it's
So let
just-
me get some goodbyes and thank yous over on YouTube. Thank you, Ski Man. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Rick Lakes. Jeff, Ran Israel, good to see you as always. Hope to see you Sunday night during the 12-hour debacle. Long Dog was there. Tracy Michael, good to see her. My Miss Wintermute was in there, and he snuck in. And Great Guy got a comment in. One Fish 26 got a comment in. Thank you, Josh Ghetto Kinder got a comment in. John Loy Sr., thank you so much for being first. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well as Sunday, hopefully. I know Monday is from win to win. Rand asked me a Doug question. He says, from win to win. Need a little bit of clarification. I need some Doug help here.
The 12-hour debacle.
Oh, the 12-hour debacle will be, thank you, Doug, in Las Vegas, 9 p.m. Indiana time to 9 a.m. Indiana time. Now, there's a rumor I have direct competition.
12
So,
hours? I thought 24 hours.
We'll be lucky if we get 12 minutes in before I kill the doggone thing, let alone 24 hours. So we're going to end with I don't know which one. We're just going to end. They can hear us. They can't see us. I really need to make good night. I'm waving. They can't see me. I need my head looked at.